Next thing that we're going to look at here is ideal impact. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have players turn to the ideal impact. And what you're going to see is you're going to see in the drills I use, you're going to see the contact pad. And we're going to actually have players turn into the contact pad so they can feel that ideal impact. Ideal impact occurs 90 degrees. The bat and the ball, they meet at a 90-degree angle. Our back elbow, right at our rib cage. Front elbow, little bend in it, and make sure you have square locked wrists. The wrists stay locked, they stay square. So as we turn, as we go into our heel drop, we're going to pull with our big muscles, and we're going to let the bat head level out, and you're going to turn to the contact point right in here. Notice where the weight is. I'm not sitting back in here. I'm in my front side axis. Let them push into that pad and feel that resistance, because that is what ideal impact is all about. If you reach out in front of that ideal impact zone, what you're going to do is you're going to lose a bunch of power. If you players sit back, they're going to lose a bunch of power. So have them heel drop and turn nice and clean, nice and smooth.
Now that they understand the leveling, what we're going to do is we're going to use a contact pad, and this is called the contact drill with a pad, swift stick and a contact pad. And they're going to go through their motion, their hitting motion, and they're going to strike the contact pad, which is, it fits on your hand. Boxers use it. It's a great tool because you can move it anywhere you want, and this is a great drill for players to feel what ideal impact is all about. Have them go through their load, their stride, their heel drop. Once they get into their front side, they're going to turn around that front side axis. Now, as they do this, you're going to notice some things here. Weight transfer 1, I'm looking for weight transfer. Are they turning around one axis, or is this anchored down? What's their axis look like? Is their hitter's box intact at contact? And you're going to see right in here, this is ideal impact at its best. Elbows right about at the rib cage. Got a little bend in this front elbow here. Square wrist at contact. 90 degrees. All the energy that is in the body is going to go out through the ball. They need to understand what this means. Ideal impact. A lot of times players chase balls that are out in front of them, not letting it get deep enough and keeping your hitter's box intact. As they're turning and as they're rotating around, this picture right here looks like he's throwing his knob out to the ball, which is that is common teaching, knob to ball. But if you watch, the elbow stays bent. If you throw knob to ball here, that front arm would extend, and you would have a real hard time turning square, and you couldn't have this bent here. Your hitter's box wouldn't be intact. And so this drill is fabulous because it encompasses all these great drills and puts them together. Weight transfer, get the weight moving forward. You go into a strong heel drop, heel plant. We turn to the contact point, and as they go through this, the bat is going to kick back. You know, they're going to hit it and it's going to bounce back. But what you want them to feel is you want them to feel strong at the contact point. Should not hurt their wrists. If their wrists are not square, they don't have their knocker knuckles lined up and they're not square wrist here, it may hurt their wrist. But if they're square in their wrist and they're not reaching and their hands aren't leaking out away from the body, then they will be perfectly fine, and they'll be able to generate just a ton of pop and energy just with this drill. Another reason I like this drill is because it allows me to work all over the zone, keeping that hitter's box intact. So when we talk about advanced movements, this is a pitch that's up in the zone. We want to be flat and level up in here. But when we get down to pitches that are down here, what does the hitter's box look like and what does it feel like for them? But until they understand and master these principles, stick with this part of the zone, nice and flat up in here, and keep it as simple as possible. Make sure you're looking for dual anchors. You don't want dual anchors. You want them turning on one axis point, that front axis. Make sure they're not leaning way up forward off their front side axis. This is pretty good position right in here. And he's turning around his axis point, and he's generating a lot of pop.